McStravick, and welcome to Money Intuition. We're getting to explore the minds and the thinking of some really successful women who've used their intuition and their know-how to create these sustainable, financially abundant, self-created lives. So that was the reason that I wanted my guest today, Stephanie O'Day. Back in 2008, she made a New Year's resolution to use her slow cooker every single day and write about it online, essentially starting a blog with a very simple idea. But it resulted in huge traffic to her website. She got 4 books out of it. One of them was on the New York Times bestseller list for 6 weeks. She's been on Good Morning America over and over. She just did another stint on Rachel Ray. She's been in Real Simple magazine, Woman's World, Oprah.com, everywhere. So, Stephanie, before we go any further, everybody wants to know your website. So I'm going to give it out now, and I'll give it out at the end, and you'll see it on your screen. It's stephanieodea.com. That's O-D-E-A. Okay, so Stephanie, I love that you took an idea that is about cooking, you know, your slow cooker, and you built this outrageous business. And so many people watching right now say, I want a blog. I have an idea. Sure. I've got 3 kids or 2 kids. How did you do it? So sure. How did you get started? Like, why did you pick a blog, first of all?
First of all, I want to thank you for having me because I'm very grateful to be here. And in my own small way, I really do feel like I'm kind of living my version of the American dream. I have 3 children, and the fact that I get to stay home with them and write and have fun and just play in the kitchen, but still I can be their primary caretaker. It was important to me to be home with the kids. And as far as the blog, I've always liked to write. 2nd grade, Mrs. Grantham told me, I think she's going to be a writer. And so I've liked to do that. I've written for our local newspaper. I've written for some baby magazines. I enjoyed freelance writing, but they weren't necessarily paying the bills. And I wanted to figure out how to pay bills and not get a real job. My background was running preschool centers, and I loved running them. But I had a 2-year-old at the time who came to work with me, and she started getting pretty sick. And I wasn't sure what it was. She was vomiting sporadically. And so after a few months, I decided it was the daycare germs. So I quit and came home, laid it all out on the table, and my husband's like, oh, I wish we had chatted about this beforehand.
Before you quit. Okay. Yeah. So you had something to prove at that point.
I did. And just so everybody knows, she's fine now. We found out that she actually has celiac, which is an intolerance to gluten. This was back in 2007. It was nowhere near as prevalent as it is today. Yeah, so it didn't dawn on me to cut out gluten at the time until we had her diagnosed. Anyway, she's totally fine now. But I had this fire in my belly to work from home and figure something out legitimately. I began answering Craigslist ads and looking around in the back of the parenting magazines for, you too can work at home and make $6,000 a day. Yeah. And they all were scams. Do not believe anybody who tells you you're going to make $6,000 a day right off the start. I liked the idea of blogging. I was doing a bit of freelance work for blogher.com, which is an online women's blogging platform. They run conferences. They have a pretty elaborate website. And through the bit of work that I was doing, I learned that there's some women out there and they're making some pretty good money. And it's just by writing and sharing their stories. Ironically enough, I'm a pretty private person. So
I'm laughing because I'm the same way, and I've been podcasting for 9 years, and I still have to get through that. And blogging, you have to expose.
So I'm happy to say that my children's names have never been online. I just refer to them as my 3 girls. And their pictures have never been online. And that is my own personal preference, my husband's preference. His name is Adam. He's perfectly happy me talking about him.
So you can write and blog about him all you want, right?
Although, just we have a pretty hard and fast rule. Adam is only portrayed in a positive light, which isn't difficult because the man has no faults, which at times can be slightly annoying. But that's our family rule. So anyway, I knew I wanted to start a blog. I like the idea of writing every day, forcing myself to write, and that's where the idea of the New Year's resolution came from. And I started paying attention to some of these food writers. And what writing a recipe does is it gives really solid SEO, which is search engine optimization. You're giving the user at home something they're searching for. And I realized, gosh, I search all day long for crockpot recipes. I need gluten-free crockpot recipes. I need frozen chicken crockpot recipes. And it all just sort of like Oprah light bulb moment went off. And I said, oh my God, I need to start a crockpot blog. So we were at a Christmas party and 2007, came home, maybe had a tiny bit of wine. And I said, this is what we're gonna do. And so Adam brought out the camera. He took a few pictures of me hugging the crockpot and launched the site. And within a few days, I was picked up by a rather large blogger. Now she's my friend, Kim Demon, but she writes Today's Creative Blog. And the day she linked to me, I got 435 people, which was astronomical.
All coming to read your latest article.
Yes.
And I want to just stop and point this out. So your husband took some photos of you, and you start this blog.
Yeah,
so
this is
super important,
but not the kids.
Because we stop ourselves so much. We say, I don't have professional pictures. I'm not ready. I don't have a great website. I've got to be more perfect than the perfect people I see out there.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So just so you know, if you zoom in on that picture of me hugging the crock pot, I think my hair's in braids and I'm wearing glasses. Not a stitch of makeup. And because it was right around Christmas, we're posed in front of the Christmas tree and didn't have proper equipment, didn't Photoshop it. That picture ended up going viral on Pinterest. It was in 830,000 times. And I know.
Wow.
Yes, it is possible.
Look at this lady with her crock pot. That's going to be me this year.
But the comments were all of people telling me that I was wearing dirty socks. Which is absolutely true, because if you zoom in and you go really nuts, I had on socks and they were dirty.
Right? Because you had a 2-year-old, or and it was right after Christmas. And what do they think?
It's the power of the internet, and a good idea can easily go viral, especially with these new sharing tools. Facebook wasn't as in your face when I first started as it is now. Pinterest didn't exist. Twitter was just getting started. So there's definitely lots of room to get your message out for cheap, for free. I still have Blogspot in the URL attached. So if you go to stephanieoday.com, all of the websites are all attached. But the Crockpot one is crockpot365.blogspot.com. And that's because it's the free blogging software that Google Blogger provides. And I didn't, at the time, want to spend $9.95 a year to register a domain name. I didn't believe in myself enough at the time.
Wait, $9.95 or $995?
No. Yes. It's $9.95. Yeah. No, I'm a little bit Scottish, Summer, so I don't like to spend money. I just like to make the money.
McStravick, I'm there. I'm with you.
Okay. Oh, I know. We should compare clans later.
Yeah.
So that was my idea. Is I really wanted to prove to myself and to my husband, and now to more women, that you can start something from nothing with just an idea and just a little bit of guts. It takes some courage to just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
You're worried about being a dork. You're worried about feeling, can we still use the word poser? You're worried about
I think you must be my age, Stephanie. Because that was the ultimate put down. Poser.
I know. But I think all of us have that inner 7th grader where we're just a little embarrassed. We want to blend in. We don't want to stand out. And putting yourself out there online and opening yourself up to criticism is scary. And But once you get past that hurdle, you'll realize there are many, many more people out there who are rooting for you and who want you to succeed than there are who want to push you back down in your box. I am very lucky in that I have had very, very little animosity. I know there are some bloggers online who have quite a bit of animosity, and I have not had that. I think in general, people like slow cookers, people like their crock pots. I'm certainly not writing about controversial things. I've decided on my own, we're staying away from politics, we're staying away from controversial subjects. Yeah.
So
but I have fun.
You mentioned two things that I keep hearing here. One is that fearlessness is part of it, or having a little bit of courage, as you put it, saying, I'm just going to do this. You know, I'm quitting my job because I feel like I have to. It's the best thing for my family. I don't know where this is going to go, but I'm going to prove something to myself, for my family. I'm going to build a life. Yes. And you had to just put yourself out there. The other thing is that you were lucky. So you had some people linked to you right away. That's another thing that stops people.
Are we lucky, Summer, or do we make our own luck?
And that's what I'm getting at. I want to hear from you, because people will say, oh, but she was lucky. You know, she happened to be in the right place, and she got the right person, and she knew somebody. I'm not. How do I know I'm going to be lucky? I've been laboring at this for years. So what do you say?
Well, I didn't know anybody, and I still don't know anybody. I wish.
Oh, wait, except Rachel Ray and maybe Oprah a little bit.
No. I cold emailed the Rachel Ray Show.
Cold email. Just a little like, hi, my name is, I'm the Crockpot Lady.
Yes. That's exactly how I started. Hi, my name is Stephanie O'Day. I'm the Crockpot Lady, and I rock, and you should have me on your show.
Do you know what? That's what I did with Hay House years ago. Just a cold letter in the mail, actually. Not even an email. So, just power of that, everyone watching.
That is actually how I've gotten every sort of connection. It is because I made the initial contact. And sometimes it doesn't work, and you need to follow up. I pitch myself probably 3 to 5 times a week, and maybe every 3 weeks something sticks. Okay. And it's for a freelance article, for a news spot for a local, like, Good Morning Chicago type thing.
And you do this yourself? You don't have like a publicist who's doing all this for you at this point?
I haven't paid for anything.
There are so many people watching right now. They're going, how did she not pay for anything and do this?
Yeah. No, it's funny. Our tax lady is mad at me. She's like, how come you have no expenses?
Yeah, I know. I had a similar conversation with my tax man. He said, go buy some new computers or something.
Something. Each time I publish a book, you are given a publicist through the publishing house. Right. And you have them for a few months leading up to the launch, and you have them for a few months after the launch. I need to be careful with my words here, because I like working with the publishers and I like the publicity people. But I also know, just from being online since 2000 and end of 2007 to now, we're in 2014, I've learned a lot. I've made a lot of connections. I have a pretty good list. I've got a good following on Twitter and Facebook and Pinterest. And people know me and trust me, and that I'm not just trying to take money from them. And so
just to pitch a book. In other words, I come from the publishing world, so you can say all this to me. It's okay. I know how it works.
Right. But I have the best ROI when I do it myself. When I email a TV producer myself. When I email a magazine myself. I have good luck. The publishing house is very helpful. They have finances behind them, so they will place ads, which is fantastic.
Do things you're not.
They will they will certainly position me to get in touch with some great editors of magazines. But it's the personal relationships that I have developed by perpetuating those relationships that really work the best, and realizing that every journalist, every byline that you see in a newspaper or magazine, it's just a person.
Yeah.
They all get up every morning.
Yeah.
They all have dirty dishes in their sink.
And
They're
dirty
all
socks.
and dirty socks.
Yeah.
They all have the same fears,
Yeah.
hopes, and dreams that we do. And not celebritizing, is that a word?
Go for it.
Yeah, don't celebritize the news reporters or the magazines, and just, you're on an even playing field. We're all writers. Write to them. If it works, great. If it doesn't, give it a month or two and try again.
Right.
Try a different pitch. Yeah. And same goes for me. It's the funniest thing when I get an email from someone and then I write back and then they write back, I can't believe you wrote back. Like, well, of course I did. You asked me a question about your chicken.
Yeah. That's what I do for a living. I answer questions about chicken.
And honestly,
Yes.
that's the best part of my day, is
Yeah.
the idea that I can somehow help other people, other busy people, either get dinner on the table or their house slightly more organized, or helping their kids with chores. Just any way that I can be of service to especially other women. I am just beyond grateful that I have that opportunity to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's why I have you here, because you've made this life for yourself. It's, it's what provoked me to build my own life as well. And most of the women who are being interviewed in the series, all of us have said, I'm not doing it that way anymore. I don't want to work for this person. I want to trust myself. We haven't really talked about the intuitive side of things for you. But I know that you're trusting something in there. Do you want to say anything about that?
It's interesting because I'll go to some of these blogging conferences and talk about feeling like a poser. I immediately feel kind of squashed down and looked down upon because the website still has Blogspot in the URL, because I'm not techie. I don't code. I do have a web designer who works with me who is fantastic, but I prefer to use the Blogger platform because I can do it all myself. I do have other sites that are hosted on WordPress, and I don't understand them, and I like that. But anyway, I needed to trust myself and my first business plan, which really was just scrawled on a scrap of paper or a napkin or something, of I want to make something from nothing. That was the first intention. I want to prove that to myself. And then I built up on that. I said, I want to make $1,000 a day. And to me, that was such an astronomical amount that I had no idea how on earth that could happen. And then the people started coming. The ad revenue started going up. The book offers, which came with some pretty lucrative advances, were offered. So I was happy to meet that goal. And now I have some even larger goals. But it is a trust thing. And beliefs and faith and religion are personal to everybody. And I don't think that there's any one way to believe, but I think just knowing within yourself that you're smart, and people who are succeeding aren't any smarter than you are, and to just believe in yourself and in your thoughts. If while you're brushing your teeth or you're in the shower, you think of a really great business idea, go for it. Even if it means buying the $9.95 domain name, buy it.
I love that, because what you're saying is everybody has something to say. Everybody has an audience. You found your audience, and it wasn't necessarily luck, or maybe it was, but you talk to 3 to 5 people a week. You reach out there and you do it, and the law of odds or averages just kind of starts to add up for you. I think it helps too, like you said with the journalist. I found this to be true. You basically just decide, I like this person. I like them. And therefore, I'm probably going to look at what they do. And it's just a matter of having the courage to say, will you like me? Will you like me?
Yeah.
And I think for women, that's also really hard, because we're used to trying to be liked and trying to be a certain way, trying to be approved of. And just putting yourself out there like that is a hurdle. And I think that stops a lot of women from just pushing forward and saying, please like me, but I'm not going to try and make you like me. You know, it's like a funny balance.
Yep.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It's interesting. I like networking and I like meeting new people. Mm-hmm. I prefer to meet people who aren't trying to get something from me.
Yeah. Except a question about chicken.
I'm so happy to help you with your chicken. Yeah. So in some of these networking get-togethers, if it's a food writers conference or a blogging conference, I do have my guard up more than I do when I'm at a book signing or a cooking demonstration, when I can really just truly give and give. I wish women in general didn't sometimes feel the need to hold their cards so closely and not want to help and give. If someone writes to me and asks for blogging help, I put everything down and I help as much as I can. And I'm happy to do that. And I wish others felt that way also, because I've certainly reached out to many, many, many people.
Be careful. You're about to start a new business here, Stephanie. I can already see the little women's circle of bloggers personally tutored by you. Be quiet. Careful. The emails are going to start flooding in.
Well, especially when you're starting out, it hurts your feelings if you reach out to somebody and they ignore you. I will name drop one food blogger who was immensely gracious to me, and that was Elise Bauer of Simply Recipes. Yeah. And I don't think I'm giving away any secrets because I believe this is public knowledge, but she makes well over $1 million a year on her website. Wow. And I wrote to her and I said, I read your writing that you did on blogger.com on how to have a profitable blog, and I set my blog up just like that. I followed all of your steps. Right. And then I kind of held my breath and I pushed send. And it took 6 hours for her to write back. And this is how embarrassing it is because I'm obsessive compulsive. So I refreshed. Just write back yet? And she did. Mm-hmm. She did. And then later I've met her at conferences a number of times. And she's just gracious and giving. And those are the type of people who I try really hard to attract to my life. Someone who is honest and just wants to be of help. Not someone who's trying to get something from me. There's a lot of scams out there. There's people who are charging $2,500 to $3,500 for these online talent seminars and different things. And from what I've seen, they all seem to be they're making money. Yeah. I don't know if they're making money because they're making money blogging or if they're making money because you're giving them money to teach you how to make money. So
yeah, exactly. So we're about to kind of wrap things up a little bit. Okay. You have resources. I've mentioned the website, stephanieaudet.com. People I know they're going to want to see your blog now after seeing all this. Even if they've never owned a slow cooker or as we call it, a crock pot in their life, right? Because they're going to want to see how you did this. How you've built this big business. Which even talking with you, it's hard to it's like, really? You built this giant business? It's like, yeah, you're not really, saying how amazing you are, but you are. So people should go stephanieaudet.com, and you have some books or something that you give away, a giveaway area?
Yes, I would like to offer to your viewers. I have a copy of my newest slow cooker cookbook, which is 365 slow cooker suppers. And then I also have, I wrote this a few years ago. It is Totally Together, Shortcuts to an Organized Life. And it is a daily organizational planner, mostly geared towards moms. But it has all of the different things. It has checklists. I really like checklists. So it'll tell you to do your laundry and make your bed and drink a bunch of water and all those good things that you should be doing anyhow.
So how to be a great mom.
Yes.
Build a wildly successful business and still manage to have dinner on the table every night. Right?
Well, That's the plan. But in real life, I truly am a real person. So.
Sometimes you got to pull it out of the freezer.
Yeah, that's okay too. Absolutely.
All right, Stephanie, it's been such a pleasure talking with you. Thank you so much for being an inspiration for everybody watching right now who are probably going and they're looking at their blog site right now and they're thinking, how am I going to do what she did?
Yeah.
And I think you gave a lot of really good, honest stuff about what you actually did.
Thank you. Thank you. I do, I should mention it. I have, maybe 10 or so blog posts all written out on how to make money online, and they might be helpful as well. Just mostly personal, what worked and what didn't for me, but it kind of lines it all out for you.
Oh, great. So again, at your blog, we can just search that and find it. Okay, good. Absolutely. So expect a lot of hits on those now.
Thank you.
All right, Stephanie. Thank you so much, and until next time.
All righty. Thanks, Summer.